4 days before Abdallah Osman was to fly to Switzerland to donate stem cells to save his brother's life, lockdown left them stranded 700 miles apart with time running out. The transplant was 60-year-old Hussein's only hope of surviving aggressive blood cancer, and Abdallah, 53, was devastated, fearing they might never see each other again. Hospital worker Abdallah, from Southampton, says, "It was heartbreaking. Hussein was like a father figure to me when we were growing up. You cannot imagine the relief when the doctors told me I could be his donor. I had the chance to save him and repay all his kindness. Then the coronavirus hit and it destroyed everything. I feared it would cost my brother's life. I was worried we would lose him before I had a chance to donate." Hussein became ill in July last year, just after the brothers had returned from a holiday together in Istanbul. Hussein started vomiting and his gums began bleeding. He lost his appetite and, despite feeling tired all the time, he struggled to sleep. Blood tests revealed he had acute myeloid leukemia, an aggressive disease that caused his immune system to produce dangerous numbers of faulty white blood cells. Hussein began chemotherapy and Abdallah requested emergency leave to visit him in hospital near his home on the Swiss border with Germany. Abdallah says, "I booked the first available flight. Working for the NHS, it is hard seeing any human suffering, let alone your own brother." He had lost his hair, you could see he was ill. It was scary. Doctors soon realized chemotherapy might not be enough to cure Hussein, so ran tests to check if Abdallah could donate stem cells to his brother. Siblings are rarely suitable donors as they inherit different genetic material from each parent, but Abdallah was a good match. Hussein says, "When the doctor told me, I was so emotional I cried. Abdallah told me I would be okay and we would go on holiday together again soon. That gave me belief I could overcome this." When lockdown sent the plan into chaos, the brothers were in despair. Hussein says, "I thought there was no hope whatsoever. But then the UK charity Anthony Nolan stepped in to arrange for Abdallah to donate the stem cells in London, although the process remained fraught with difficulties. Two of his colleagues in the hematology laboratory at Southampton General Hospital had already been diagnosed with coronavirus. Abdallah self-isolated for 4 weeks to avoid the virus and ensure the transplant could go ahead. He left his house just once to visit a doctor, who carried out a series of preliminary tests and saw only one other person, a nurse who visited his flat and gave him an injection to make his body release stem cells into the blood, making them easier to harvest. Abdallah says, "It felt very strange not seeing anyone, but I was on a mission. I spent a lot of time learning about leukemia and the transplant. There was nothing else to do. I was so worried I couldn't sleep properly." Anthony Nolan paid for Abdallah to travel to London in April. The cells were tested to ensure they were free of coronavirus and safe for transplant, before being frozen and flown to Switzerland the next day. Abdallah says, "You cannot imagine the relief when I found out I didn't have the virus. I immediately rang my brother and told him everything was okay. We had what we needed. It was very emotional." Days later, Hussein had the transplant, the first from a sibling, to be carried out in Switzerland. He is still on medication, but it was a success, and he is making a steady recovery. Idala hopes to visit in October. Hussein says, "I am looking forward to the day my brother can visit me, so we can share a meal and a laugh. Then I can thank him properly and plan that trip to Cuba. If it wasn't for Anthony Nolan, I don't think I would be alive today. I owe everything to the charity and my brother. They will always be in my heart." Close quote. Visit anthonynolan.org to join the stem cell donor register. Tomorrow is World Marrow Donor Day. For details go to worldmarrowdonorday.org.